Okay, this video is going to take you through the trace code with return values sheet, the missing return types to fill that in. Basically, the return type is, this is how you tell what it's going to be. You go, whoops, rats, I didn't do that right. Okay, the return type is the data type of the return value. So the line of code that it's going to return code is this one, return the value of molt. And so the question is, well, what is the data type for molt? Well, it's right here. It's an int. So this is an int. And the other one is the return statement is return div. So what is the data type of div? Div is double. So that's what goes in here. Public static double divide. That's how it works. Alright, now that takes care of that. And so let's take a look at the code. The next thing you're supposed to do is to trace the code to determine what we printed at the end. And so it goes like this. Always starts with the main method, no matter where it's located. And so the first thing is that here's your declaration of num1, here's declaration of num2. Int3 is assigned the return value of the method call. This is a method call right here with the two arguments. So it's passing num1, which is a 5, and it's passing an 8. So 5 and 8 are being passed to the multiply method, which is down here. So you go in the same order, the 5 and the 8. Oh man, I can't draw with this thing. This is an 8 right here. And so oh boy. Anyways, and then the 5, line 16, C is called, and it's 8, and 8 times 2 is 16, so double num is 16. The next line, it's double num, which is 16, times n1. n1 is right here. It's the parameter variable. So and this is a 5. And 16 times 5 is 80. So now, so molt is 80. That's what's being stored there. And now we're going to return the value of molt. And the value of molt is 80. So we're going to return 80. Okay, you return this 80 to the method call. Whenever you're done with the print state or with the method, you return the method call. Well, that 80 is really is the return value of this method call, and so the return value is 80. Now you read the line of code. It says int num3 is assigned 80 because that's the value of this method call, and so num3 then becomes 80. That's what's stored inside this memory location. Now the next line down is double num4 is assigned this method call. So num1 is 5 and num2 is 8.0. So those are the two arguments, or the actual parameters, that are going to be passed to the divide method And so it's 5 and 8.0 in that order. So A1 is 5. N2 is the next one, that's 8.0. And then we go down here, prod is 4 times A1. Well, A1 is 5, as we can see right here. So prod becomes 20. And then div is assigned prod divided by N2, and prod we said is 20. N2 is right over here, and so that's 80. And that's interesting. I don't remember doing that before. So I feel like I did something wrong on this one, and which I did because this is not 80, it's 8.0, and so 20 divided by 8 goes into 20 2 times, 2 point something, and so well, it goes in 2.5. Alright, so it's going to return the value of div, which is 2.5, and then 2.5 gets returned to the method call. So this right here becomes 2.5. So num4 is assigned 2.5. And then we go to the next line down, num5 is assigned num3 minus num4. Num3 is 80, as we see up here. Oops, and then num4 is 2.5. And so that is 77.5, which is now num5. And then this print line here prints num5, so the output is just 77.5. Alright, that is how that code gets traced.